Good morning, friends. So today's topics will start with a positive note, and one of the most positive note which we received yesterday was the good monsoon. So the monsoon, which was laggard in last few weeks, now it is almost only 2% below the normal. Now that is a good thing because understand most of our rural area depends on the good monsoon. See, almost June to September, whatever rainfall is there is almost 50% of what water required by the farmland. So if the June to September rainfall is good, then that is a good news. And see, understand the rural area demand comes if there is a good monsoon. So that's why there may be a uptick on two-wheelers, even tractors, and all the other automobiles, and also fertilizer. So that is why rural area depends on monsoon, and that is why this is a good news. Now, talking about two-wheelers, two-wheelers demand has picked up over last few months, and the reason is simple that monsoon is arriving, and also no, the thing is, rural area also coming up out of this COVID crisis slowly and gradually, and also slowly and gradually oil is coming down. Yeah, it is taking some time, but if you today you see $112 per barrel, so somehow small uptick is there in the two-wheelers. Also, Hero Honda, which is one of the two-wheeler giant, is going to come up with the its new actually models in Turkey. Now that is what now every two-wheelers is coming with their EV vehicles and also new vehicles, and they are all almost the certified by the new environmental norms given by the government. Of course, these two-wheelers are working a lot on EV front because lot of issues are there in the two-wheelers front. Most of the issue faced by the Ola and other EV vehicles, and that's why there was a ban on launch of new electric vehicles in recent past by the government. So, but however, my pick overall in these two-wheelers is Bajaj Auto. Bajaj Auto is somewhat poised to have a good uptick, and also recently they have launched a good EV electric vehicle segment. Hero Motor is there from last 2 years, so somehow it is not able to pick up, and actually it is lost its ground because of less R&D. That is what I feel, and that's why I always go for Bajaj Auto. So if you are looking, you can go for Bajaj Auto on a two-wheeler front. Now talking about rainfall only. Now this good rainfall may be a blessing for the FMCG companies, but because you understand, inflation is playing a big role, correct? And because of inflation, the rice price, the wheat prices, also the edible oil prices is going up. Now somehow it is moderated in last few weeks. And if the rainfall is good, then the raw material prices may go down. And but already FMCG has increased their rates. They have increased their average selling price by almost 4 to 5% over the categories. You can say that. Now, if the raw material prices goes down, now that will be a blessing for the FMCG companies. Correct. That's why I know that FMCG stock has come down a lot from its top. But at this level, if someone can start accumulating it. And again, in FMCG stock, my preferable stock is HUL, Dabur, that you can look at it because at one level there will be a good demand for FMCG stocks. Now talking about global market, yesterday Dow Jones was up by almost 640 points and Nasdaq was up by almost 280 points. Now that is a follow up of the Asian indexes because yesterday Asian indices were up, including India, and Dow Jones and Nasdaq was closed on Monday because of their festival. Now that's a follow-up process. Now, if the looking at these, exact Nifty shows an uptick of almost 76 points for today. So hopefully we will have a better opening today and we will be up today. Now, US bond yield is currently as high as 3.27, and also dollar index is around 104.49. Of course, this will not go down unless the oil prices go down slowly and gradually. There is a fall in oil prices. It is around 112 currently when I am actually recording this video, but somehow above 9500 it is always considered as a high price. Now this low tick in the oil prices is mainly due to the recession fear which is going around for Europe and also in US. So that is why there is a slash in demand, and also their expectation also. No, unless understand, market always work on the expectation. So if they feel that in future oil demand will be on the lower side, oil prices always cutting. So that is one of the reason why oil prices is coming down from its 125 level. Talking about Joe Biden and US economy, Joe Biden told that yes, they are going to remove Chinese tariff imposition what was applied by the Trump government. Now, if they are removing that sanction from China, now that plays a big role, because that will be in a way victory for China, because somehow it is able to regulate its policy. And why Biden wants to do it? Because unless they don't import more from China, no, the prices at a US level is remaining high. China brings a less cost products in US, of course, and because of that, no, what happened? No, inflation normally comes up, but currently when there is a sanction and people are using their own products, and if it is at a higher RSP, then of course inflation will remain high, and US is facing a big problem to calm down their inflation, because at 8.6 level percent, no, to bring down inflation to the target level of 2%, which FOMC is telling that yes, they want to bring inflation 2%. Now that's a big task. If you want to bring it down, then you have to take a drastic steps. You have to impose some tax or whatever it is to the domestic consumer, and you have to bring cheap import from outside. Like in India, you know that, no, that to curtail inflation, we are reducing excise duty at least, but we are imposing export duty on the steel, so that steel export become higher, and that's why the flow of steel production and their supply goes to the domestic consumer, domestic producer and consumer, correct? So that is why this is very much, again, that is what is the policy of US to do whatever it may be to bring inflation down. Now talking about metals only. Now you know that from last few days metals are going down. One of the main reason, as I told you earlier also, that no, this export duty levied on steel companies, no, that is bringing down margin of the steel companies, because they have to supply to the local consumer only, and then that pricing power will go away. That's why most of the analysts has slashed Tata Steel and JSW Steel's target. Even we have slashed Tata Steel target to around 1100 rupees and JSW Steel for 460 rupees. The one of the predominant reason is that because of this uh, export duty and extra levy of taxes on metal, no, it is becoming margin, it is creating a margin pressure for all the metal stocks. Guys, to understand all this fundamental and everything, whatever I am telling you now, no, you can attend my free workshop, which we are going to conduct today, evening also. So the link is given in the description. You can click and do attend the workshop. Okay. Now talking about stagflation. Now there was a report from the finance ministry that India may not go to stagflation level. Now what is stagflation level? When the inflation is on a higher side, however demand is on a lower side. Correct. At that time, stagflation may occur. But however, finance ministry told that there is a very less probability that India may go to a stagflation, because the internal demand of in India is quite good and it will remain good, seeing the demographic and the population of our country. Correct. So that's a chances of stagflation is very less. However, the chances of stagflation is much more in US and Europe, because they are actually fighting against inflation, and such type of high inflation was never seen by them. अब वही होता है जब आपने कभी कुछ देखा ही नहीं है, it becomes very difficult to control it. India in India, RBI actually has many these type of inflation in last few years. Correct. In India, 6% inflation is a norm. तो आरबीआई को पता है कि ये इन्फ्लेशन को कैसे कंट्रोल करना है, हाउ दे शुड कंट्रोल इट, एंड दे आर यूज्ड टू इट. यूएस इज नेवर बीन यूज्ड टू सच टाइप ऑफ हाई इन्फ्लेशन. तो उनके लिए एफओएमसी को कंट्रोल करना है इन्फ्लेशन को, तो वो उनके लिए बड़ा टास्क हो जाता है, क्योंकि दे डोंट नो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ वेपन्स यू शुड यूज. However, RBI is quite equipped with that, and that's why India is in a strong footing on that part. Now, FII sold almost 2,700 crores rupees uh, of shares yesterday. However, DIA bought around 3,000 crores of shares. Now, that is a very good sign, because now whatever FII is selling, DI is buying. And that's a domestic institution is playing a big role to stable this market currently. Talking about Coal India announced on Tuesday that almost 11 companies, including Adani Enterprise, has given an tender for the import coal, which Coal India is currently importing from other countries. Now, this is very much required because there was a coal shortage and demand was on a higher side and supply was on a lower level. And that is why all this company has to restore for import. And that is why Coal India, on behalf of everyone, also imported lot of coal from outside. And that's why they are raising tender for the companies. And now companies are asking to take this imported oil from Coal India. Now, another point is that GST has completed 5 years. Okay, now on the 1st July, GST is going to complete 5 years. Now, that when it was implemented, no, it was like a vision of one tax, one nation, one tax, correct? And somehow GST has played that type of role. No, GST now, if you see in recent month, it is able to cross even 1.5 lakh crores every month. Now that is a success. Then of course it is long way to go, but GST when it was launched, there were so many flaws and it was so complicated. But now slowly and gradually it is getting much more convenient to common people to understand, much more what you say simple to implement. Correct. So this is how overall GST has come up, but it is playing a big role for the government because it is the biggest tax revenue along with the corporate tax and the individual tax as a for the government to cover its fiscal deficit. So GSA plays a big role, and hopefully it is going to play a big role because we can see the trend as and when economic activity is going up, the collection is going up over the months, and that is playing a big role for Indian development. Now, talking about SBI card was up yesterday by almost 6 to 7%. The reason was simple that RBI has actually restricted fintech companies to implement various credit cards on their behalf. Now, the reason is simple. They want only banks and all that to release credit cards, and that is a big plus point for the SBI cards, because this will bring down the competition against from the fintech world. Correct. So that is why, and that is the sole reason why SBI card was up yesterday. Now another big news happened yesterday was that there is an Inox and PVR merger going to happen, and that is that note. That positive note is already given by the BSE NSE yesterday. That yes, they can go ahead with the merger, and that is what that will create a biggest you can say multiplex entity in India, and it will be like a monopoly because understand both these Inox and PVR will be covering almost 1,500 screens in tier 1, 2, 3, 4 cities. And again, when you have two big entity combining, there will be much more synergy power, and they can also, actually negotiate well with the producers and the film industry. So that is a positive from PVR and Inox front. So guys, these were the news for today. Hope you are liking my videos. So do like and subscribe my channel. And also if you have any comments or the things you want to know much more on my videos, then do let me know. Do write in the comments. I'll surely will cover in next few videos, and also do watch my videos every morning because that will give you the best updates for the market for that particular day. So thank you, Umesh. See you.